Alexander Hamilton. Who was he? What did he do? Was he even one of the founding fathers? Was he a hero or was he a villain? Well, let me tell you one thing, everyone. He was most definitely not just a hero, but a superhero. Now let's find out some more. In terms of Hamilton's origin, Hamilton was born in 1775 on the island of Nevis in the British West Indies. Early in his childhood, Hamilton and his family moved to St. Croix after his father abandoned them. When it seemed like nothing else could go wrong, Hamilton lost his mother at age 11 to the deadly disease of yellow fever. He and his brother then began living with their cousin, who committed suicide soon after their arrival, and at age 12 Hamilton was now living with no parents and no financial aid. To add on top of this, he was also an illegitimate child since his parents were not married during his birth. Hamilton soon became a young clerk mastering skills in the world of trade, credit, and foreign exchange. He contacted his father after a storm in St. Croix and was arranged to attend Columbia University. Hamilton, eager to find glory on the battlefield, became a crucial asset to General George Washington during the start of the Revolutionary War. In terms of Hamilton's purpose, many of the decisions Hamilton made were suited best for the future of the country, and it was almost as if he could predict what lay ahead. During the war, he focused on the financial aspect and utilized his knowledge from his experiences in St. Croix. Hamilton emphasized that America needed to be involved in world trade and to make a contribution in order to stand out among other nations. Hamilton noticed that the government would not redirect their attention from agriculture, which fed and provided the country with materials and was America's seemingly sole option to escape their accumulating debt. The Industrial Revolution had just begun and boosted America towards becoming a global power. His contributions have had a lasting effect on the nation and continue to be seen throughout current financial policies. Hamilton had a large role in the Revolutionary War as a leader of the New York Provincial Artillery Company, as well as having a part in the Battle of Yorktown. Hamilton put his intellect to use to strategize and attack the enemy as the de facto head of the American Armed Forces from 1798 to 1800. He showed strength in handling diplomatic relations and negotiations, which were extremely important after Hamilton led his battalions to victory in the Siege of Yorktown. He needed to negotiate with the British and did so successfully to bring the conflict to a final end. In addition to his role in the shaping of early America, Hamilton fought against the Rutgers v. Waddington case and advocated for the establishment of the First National Bank. And he also founded the Federalist Party. All of these were fundamental to the construction of the nation that we have today. The Rutgers v. Waddington case set the precedent for the legal authority and control Congress had over the states, while the Federalist Papers were designed to convince the state of New York to support the ratification of the new Constitution. As Secretary of Treasury, it was up to Hamilton to craft the economy, and he did so by creating a system of tariffs, establishing the National Bank, and ensuring cordial trade relations with Great Britain. Throughout his political career, Hamilton encountered many people who did not share his point of view. One of these individuals included Aaron Burr, who ended up killing Hamilton in a duel in Weehawken, New Jersey. The tension between Hamilton and Burr was deep-rooted, contrary to the popular belief, and did build up over a period of time. The most significant reason as to why there was so much animosity between the two was that Hamilton had defamed Burr's image to the point where it had cost Burr the presidential election of 1800 and the New York election in 1804. Hamilton convinced his Federalist Party and supporters to vote for Thomas Jefferson over Burr, even though he did not trust Jefferson, which further shows how much he disliked Burr. Another one of Hamilton's rivals includes Albert Gallatin. However, all of Gallatin's actions that contradicted Hamilton was done after Hamilton's death. While Burr was the one who physically killed him, Gallatin destroyed Hamilton's economic changes. Since Jefferson and Gallatin were both opposed to Hamilton's system for funding federal deficits, Jefferson went on to appoint Gallatin as Hamilton's successor so he could undo everything Hamilton had implemented. Both felt as if the system was a slightly altered version of British tyrannical taxation methods. Though Hamilton had his enemies, he also had his accomplices. Among them are James Madison, the 4th U.S. President, and the first Chief Justice of the United States of America, John Jay. James Madison was a statesman, a lawyer, and diplomat who is most well known for helping write the Bill of Rights and laying out the foundation of the Constitution. Madison also had signed the declaration of war against Great Britain, which officially began the War of 1812.
John Jay was also a statesman and diplomat, as well as a patriot. He is most acknowledged for being the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but is also credited for signing the Treaty of Paris in 1783. Both of these guys worked closely with Alexander Hamilton to write the Federalist Papers, which helped sway readers towards voting for the ratification of the Constitution, particularly the people of New York. Though the recognized parts of Hamilton's life took place during his time in America, his childhood in the West Indies impacted his later years. The hardships Hamilton faced in his early life shaped and defined his character and essentially allowed him to gain experience that would come into use in the future. An example of this would be his occupation as a clerk in the British West Indies. His first job was at the mercantile company of Beekman and Kruger. Here is where he learned countless financial skills which included trading, management, and banking. This place is also the origin of his first bill, the Beekman and Kruger Bill. These rudimentary skills set a path for Hamilton and helped him during his education at Columbia, a prestigious university, as well as throughout his political career. Alexander Hamilton was not just a hero, but a superhero for his contributions to America. He played key aspects of setting up the nation. Economically, he was far more advanced in his theories and philosophies than his rivals, and politically, he knew every move to make. From his rough life in the West Indies to his successful political career, Hamilton was truly the superhero that we can thank for making America. It is a shame that a man like Hamilton was popped off by Aaron Burr. Still, Hamilton gave many contributions to his country, and without him, this country would never be the same.